She's speaking out like many of her fellow Florida educators have, and she joins us now. How are you feeling?
I'm doing good, thank you. It's been a long road, but I'm getting there. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Are you ready to work? Are you physically up to it?
Well, I've been working hard. When I came off the ventilator, I could only lift my head. Oh no, move my head. I couldn't even lift it. But through physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, I had to relearn how to walk and talk. My vocal cords were damaged, so I have to get therapy for that. Am I ready to work? Yes and no. I've made a lot of progress. I can walk on my own now, but not light on my feet, shall I say.
I hear you. The last thing you want is to put yourself in a position of jeopardy, especially in your particular condition. But you see it as part of a larger problem. Why don't you believe that your state is ready to go back to school?
Well, our numbers are through the roof right now. We're not socially distancing the way we should be, and it's spreading like crazy. And it's almost like a science experiment. Pack the school full of kids and teachers and personnel and see how it goes. Especially when they're not taking precautions. We don't have the protective gear. We don't have enough sanitation in the school. Before COVID, we caught every flu there was and bug. Now, how are we gonna protect ourselves and the students and their families? There's no real solid plan in place. In fact, I haven't heard anything.
Other than the need to open, which everybody agrees on. You know,
Exactly.
I'm sure you understand that we want to get the schools open. The question is how and how we keep them open. So the pushback will be this, Stephanie. All right, so maybe you shouldn't work because you're fragile. And your mom had it, and your fiance had it. So, all right, your family's a special case. You can apply and maybe get some kind of dispensation. But teachers in general will be fine. And if the kids get it, they'll get over it, and they're largely asymptomatic. So we're going to be okay. Not everybody's a Stephanie. Let's go back to work.
You know, I have no pre-existing health conditions for me to have gotten hit as hard as I did. It's kind of a roll of the dice. You might get hit hard, you might not. You don't know what you're going to get until you get it. And then once you've got it, there's no going back.
What do you want your kids from your classes to know about their teacher and how you feel and what you want for them?
I'm doing good. As I tell them to try their best and work their hardest, that's what I'm doing. Every day I get up with a good attitude and I do whatever my therapist tells me to do, and I practice, and I have a lot of people that help me keep my chin up when I get discouraged, just like I do for them. And we're all into this together. We as teachers just want to protect our children and their families and our families. We're doing what we've always done, is caring about the greater good of all.
What would you say to Governor DeSantis?
This is not worth taking a risk on. This is humans' lives. We don't just throw us in there with no solid plan. It has to be well thought out with a lot of protection in place. What's going to happen when a teacher or student gets sick? What happens? Then the whole class has to isolate? Who takes over the class? We have a sub shortage as it is. Where are we going to get the subs to cover if a teacher gets sick or if a child gets sick? And what happens if it happens in the middle of the day that someone starts feeling good? What is the exact protocol that we would be handling? Because before COVID, parents sent kids in sick, and you hope that they would pick them up. Not always did they do so. So
these are real questions, and you would think that the state would have answers if they're going to send people back to school for the kids, their families, and the teachers and their families. And we will be staying on the story to see what Florida does about it, not just because of the lawsuit, but because of the reality in that state reflecting what's happening all over the country. I want to end on one good note, though, so that people know things can get better if you get a little bit of luck and a lot of love. This is video of you being discharged from the hospital, and I know it was a big cause for celebration from the team that took care of you. You were in really bad shape. People were worried. But look at you today. You're back on the right track. And we all wish you very well. And I look forward to staying in touch and to hear about how strong the recovery can be. And hopefully you're doing it and finding a way to teach when it is right and the way that it is right. Stephanie Miller, thank you.
thank you.
All right. Look, that's the situation in Florida. We've had all kinds of angles on it, and we'll stay on it because it's a metaphor for what you're going to see all over the country. States can't just do it. They have to figure out how to do it. And governors have been begging the president for federal help with their COVID fights, whether it was PPE, whether it's testing, tracing, money, helping augment their state budget lapses, and now figuring out how do we do this school thing the right way, and can you help us pay? Now, they say they've been unwanted federal forces to Oregon to control the inequality program.